Hi, I'm John Thompson. I'm with New Holland. I'm a cash crop specialist. I'm here today to talk about the T9 tractors. Today we have the T9 600 with PLM intelligence, and we're going to be going over the model year changes and a few maintenance things with it as well. The new T9 with PLM intelligence tractor has the new deckling on the side of the hood, and that's how you can tell the difference between a PLM intelligence tractor and the prior generation. Has the updated deckling on the hood here. That's the first sign that you will know that it is actually the new model tractor. The T9 with PLM intelligence tractor has an updated cab with a new armrest and the IntelliView 12 monitor. Okay, so going around the tractor here, we will cover some of the other things that have changed as well with the new cab. First of all, at the front of the tractor here, in the grill down here, there is a front camera. It's a 170-degree camera, gives you very good view in front of the hood and to the sides of the hood. So essentially what it does is it gets rid of, in this general area right here, it gets rid of this blind spot that you have when you're sitting in the seat. Kind of more of a safety item more than anything, but it is a very, very high resolution camera and does a very good job of giving you view out the front. Going around with the model year changes as well, along with the camera at the front, we have updated mirrors as well too. They are a power mirror. So there's power glass on them, but they're also power telescoping in and out. So it gives you more adjustability of the mirror from the seat. Also new with the PLM intelligence tractor is an updated lighting packages. They are LED lights, optional 360-degree lighting. Very, very good illumination from this tractor, and more customization with the lights, and we'll cover more about that when we get into the monitor and the armrest. There has also been a light added at the front here as well too. There's two lights there at the front of the cab to improve the forward lighting as well too, and they are LED as well too. The only lights that aren't LED are the actual headlights in the front. They're still a halogen light, and that's just to control the lumen output on the road. There is also on the back of the cab, up in the center of the cab at the top there is a rear view camera as well. So the tractor comes standard with a front camera. It also comes with a rear view camera. It is also a 170-degree camera as well. Both cameras will display in the IntelliView 12 monitor. New for model year 21 is new valves for the hydraulics. These feature a new cover that is easily opened and closed with the hose. So you would just come into it with the hose, and the hose will just push the cover out of the way, and it's easy to couple them up. And then when you pull the hose out, the cap just pops right back down again to keep them clean. They also feature this release lever to make it easier to couple and uncouple hoses. So I believe down would do the left side and up does the right side to make it easier to couple and uncouple the hoses. With the 6-valve setup that we have on this tractor here, valves 4 and 5 are actually a 3/4 inch coupler. So you do have two sets of 3/4 inch couplers. With the 6-valve setup, we have two sets of 3/4 inch couplers. Valves 4 and 5 are 3/4 inch couplers. There they are there. So we provide two sets of 3/4 inch couplers for your air seeder fans. Right up here, we have this blue cap right here. This is our diesel exhaust fluid fill point. There's actually two fill spots on this tractor. You can fill it from either side. So you've got this one right here, and if you open the battery door on the right-hand side, there is a fill spot in there too, and it's also a blue cap as well too. So either one will fill the tank. If I was to turn around here, these steps Right behind me here, and there's a grab handle here. Get up to the top, that's our fuel tank. Okay, this tractor is equipped with our track system. This is what we call our Smart Tracks 2 system. This is a 36-inch wide belt. This particular track has what we call the deep lug track. This is our 2.6-inch lug. It is a totally independent system. It is not tied into the tractor in any way, so the tensioning system is actually done independently through a porta-power system, and you have a gauge on here to read your track tension. So with that, this track system can actually be removed from the tractor and repurposed somewhere else. Say another tractor or a combine or some other piece of equipment that it would fit like that. The most popular place to repurpose it is to put it on a combine. You can buy the conversion kit from ATI to convert this to any combine. And it doesn't just have to be a New Holland combine, it can be competitors' combines as well too. The wheels on this track module are checked with this plug in the center here. All you have to do is remove the plug and your oil level should be right there at the plug. It's 1540 engine oil. That's in all of them. So it's a common fluid that you already have on your farm, so you don't have to carry another fluid. The drive wheel, the main feature of this track module is we actually have 11 lugs engaged on the drive wheel. So we're distributing our driving force through more of the lugs and reducing the load on the drive lugs. Okay, we're going to go over the changes in the cab now and the changes to the precision land management. Now, I'd made mention about a new armrest and a new display. There is also a new receiver on the roof. We call it the Cygnus receiver. It is part of a package with the new cab. With it comes all new guidance options and much improved over our previous generation. With the new Cygnus receiver, we are also able to get away from using a navigation controller. So the duties that we had in the past that were given to the navigation controller have been split up now. The terrain compensation parts of the nav controller have been put into the receiver on the roof, which is our Cygnus receiver, and the processing part of it has been put into the PNCM controller that comes with the tractor now. All right, up here in the center of the hood, this is where you would access your air filter to service it. You just reach in here, open this panel up, and your air filters are right here. You would just open these rubber straps. On the high horsepower tractors, there's actually 2 filters right in here, and that's where you would get access to service them. Okay, I'm up in the cab of the new T9 with PLM Intelligence. I'm going to go around the cab here and we'll discuss some of the changes that have been made here. The first thing I want to draw attention to is the steering column here. On the previous cab, the steering column was adjusted with the pedal on the floor here. So what you used to have to do is you'd step on this pedal and then you would adjust both the tilt and the telescope of the steering column. Now the pedal on the floor, all it does is adjust the tilt. And you can put it where you want it and then just release the pedal. To adjust the telescoping of the steering column, you actually have to use this other little knob in here. And then you can adjust the steering column that way. We've given it 2 controls to give the operator more precise control over where the steering column will be. With the armrest, we've kind of done the same thing as the steering column. In the past, we used to have one control. It was an electric switch down here that moved the armrest forward and back. It was also kind of on an inclined plane, so it really didn't have the best control over the position of it. On this armrest, we now have two controls on the back side here. They're a manual adjustment, but what we can do now is we can raise and lower the armrest independent of moving it forward and backwards. So if I grab the rear control, I can push the armrest up and down like so and find a position that's comfortable. Then I can use the front one and I can slide the armrest forward and backward, just like that. So it gives us more control over the position of the armrest. In the headliner, we have a few switches up here. We have two different controls here for our mirrors. The front one will control the glass position. The rear one will telescope the mirrors in and out, and you can do them independent from each other, the left and the right. And then you have your guidance lockout for your steering, lockout for your hydraulics. The four-way flashers are all in the headliner there. The only other thing that is in the headliner is there is your radio. The radio deck is up here. There is a cigarette lighter plug style charger up here, and then a couple of little slots up here to store some papers or your cell phone. Is that an open? Oh, it is open in this one. I thought that was blocked. There is actually a bin here as well too, to store some items in as well. Up in the top corner here, there is a USB charge port as well. We have the bar here to hang air seeder monitors off of. So down here on the side, we have power ports for hooking up your monitors, getting power for them. There is also two plugs at the front here as well on the A-post for power as well. Okay, on the back right corner of the cab here, we have these two spots here where we have power plugs here and here. We have a USB, we have high current power. We also have a plug here for plugging cameras in. The monitor is capable of handling up to 4 cameras. Now we've used 2 with the front and the rear camera, so we have 2 open camera spots, and you can access the camera ports in the monitor through that panel there. Down underneath here, where we have these 2 little quick connect plugs, that's the access to the fuse panel is down in here. Okay, now going through the electronic system in here. We have some new components in here. We have this front display that's in front of the steering wheel, in front of the steering column here. This is what we call our InfoView monitor. It's basically our dashboard. It gives us our basic tractor functions, tachometer, fuel gauge, transmission readout, engine hours, those sorts of things. They're all in here. And as you can see, our warning lights will be on here as well. The other thing that we can do with this monitor is we do have this monitor hooked up to the front camera. Now I'm going to just quickly turn it on here. There's a switch in the main monitor here that says instrument camera. Right now it says off, but if I turn it on, now the front display actually has the front camera on it. That's the other function that front display has. And then it can just be easily turned off again by hitting this switch here. Okay, that's the InfoView monitor. Now the main monitor here, this is what we call the IntelliView 12 monitor. It's a 12-inch monitor. It's an Android-based operating system, and it has a lot of tablet-like or cell phone-like capabilities to it. For example, being able to just use your finger to swipe and scroll with. Here's another example of what this monitor is capable of. This is our guidance screen. Again, like I said, using the tablet-like capabilities, you can pinch and squeeze and twist just like you're using your tablet or your smartphone. And the IntelliView 12 monitor operates somewhat like the IntelliView 4 used to, where we have our run screen layouts at the bottom here. and we have the left-hand area. What's new to the IntelliView 12 though is having the information bar across the top here. You've always got access to your guidance map, your telematics, your date and time, and your menu switches or menu buttons. So no matter where you navigate in the monitor, the run screen at the bottom is always there, the left area stays there, and the bar at the top. That information always stays in front of the operator, so it's easy to navigate around the monitor. Run 5 here, we have the camera set up in here. So this here is showing the front camera, and if I hit this little gear switch up here, it brings up the 4 inputs. So we've got camera 1 is our front camera. Camera 2 will be our rear view camera. So there's the rear view behind us. It's easy, you can easily switch between the views, and if you've got some cameras on your implements tied into this as well, you can have them tied into cameras 3 and 4, and it's easy to select them from here as well. Okay, I'd mentioned we have a new armrest in here. We call this armrest the Sidewinder Ultra armrest. It's a totally redesigned armrest, and it's exclusive to New Holland. Some of the things that we have done here is, if you notice the way that I'm sitting here and I drop my hand down, my hand and my thumb just naturally fall on these buttons on the right hand side of the armrest. Over here we have an encoder wheel that allows us to scroll. If I use it right now, I can scroll through the run screens very easily without having to even touch the monitor. There's a lot more functionality to that than I can show later. We have shortcut keys to our phone. We also have 6 keys on the armrest to control the radio, so we can control the volume level, we can scroll through channels, we can mute, we can change the input. The back 6 buttons here in this area are for HVAC controls, all under our thumb, just as we rest on the armrest here. The hydraulic levers have LED lights in them. And what has been done here is you match the color of the light to the valve at the back. So the valves are color coded as well as a number code. What you can do here is you can match any lever to any valve on the tractor. So you're not stuck with valve number 1 always being in the number 1 position here. You can have any one of these levers control the valve, and it's easily set up in the monitor. So you have lots of customization there. You can set these up however you wish. With the hydraulics, you also have these 2 buttons on the handle. You have 2 buttons here on the handle. They can be programmed to control any 2 valves on the tractor as well too. Staying with the customization theme, we have these numbered buttons. There's 9 buttons in here that can be customized. So we have 1 and 2 here. We have 3, 4, 5, and 6 at the back, kind of on the back side of the armrest here. We have 7, which is on the multifunction handle. And then we have buttons 8 and 9 down here kind of beside the throttle. Each one of those buttons can be programmed to do anything the operator wishes, within the parameters of the tractor. There's approximately 100 different things that could be put into those buttons, and it's easily programmable. Here we have the elbow pad. It can be flipped up, and there's a little bit of storage room in here. But inside here, there is also a USB charge port in here, so you can plug your phone in for charging. And the cable can be routed underneath and out to get access to your cell phone. The elbow pad can also be slid up to cover up the hydraulic levers, if you wish, and it will stay there too. So you just raise it up, slide it back, and it will stay there. Okay, on the Sidewinder Ultra armrest, we also have a new multifunction handle. We've added some new features to it from our previous tractor, but we've also kept a lot of the things that we had on the previous model. Couple of buttons that we have added here. Right in the center here, we now have a neutral button. The previous generation did not have a neutral button here. The only place you could achieve neutral was on the end of the FNRP lever. Now we have it on the multifunction handle. We have also color coordinated anything that is related to powertrain, so engine or transmission is now an orange color. We have also added the ability to program these two buttons here to control any hydraulic valve on the tractor. We've also added a stop button, an emergency stop button. What that does is it will shut down any accessory drives, PTO or hydraulic. It will not stop the tractor or shut it down. It just shuts off accessory drives in an emergency. Okay, with the Sidewinder Ultra and the IntelliView 12, I'm going to show how to set up some of these customizable levers. First of all, I'm going to show the colored hydraulic levers. Now, you can program these levers to control any valve on the tractor. Now, in this case, we have 6 remote valves on the back of the tractor. We have 7 levers here, so you have lots of options on how you want to set them up here. To change the layout of these, what you would do is you go into the IntelliView 12, you go into the menu, we'll select the tractor, and then we're going to go into configure controls, which is where we are, and now here we have our levers here. So lever A, we're going to, let's say for example, we want it to control valve number 4. So what we would do is you hit the drop down window and then you would select valve 4. So now that valve has changed from a red color to a green color because valve 4 is green. It previously was over here, but now we've reassigned it over here. So it switched its location. It's that simple to reorganize the levers as the operator sees fit. I can also put number 1 back over here if I want, so I'll go up here to lever D, which is that one, and I'll tell it that it's now valve 1. So there. I essentially just swapped the two. In this same menu here, if I go to the top here where it says levers, I hit the drop down menu, and if I was to select the multifunction handle, now it brings up the 2 buttons on the multifunction handle and I can select a valve to operate on them. So number 1 is the left switch. I can tell it to operate valve 2 if I want. And then the right hand switch, which is button 2, I can select, say, valve 6 for it if I wish. So I can customize those 2 buttons to control any valves that I want as well. Okay, if we go up here to this drop-down menu again, we're going to select buttons. Now the buttons is the numbered buttons, 1 through 9. I can select a button and it brings up the menu of all the items that I can put in there. Now, let's say I want to put in there some guidance things. Maybe I want to put in there a nudge. So now button number 1, if I confirm that, is nudge left. Now button number 2, just sticking with that same theme, I'm going to call it nudge right. So now buttons 1 and 2 are nudge left and right, and those 2 buttons just happen to be right here on the console. So if a person wants to have the nudge easily accessible, now you have them right there. That's just one of many, many different options that a person could put into these buttons. Okay, that was my presentation for the T9 with PLM Intelligence tractors. Thank you for watching, and I hope everyone has a safe seeding season.